Over 100 years ago, a great Prime Minister, Wilfrid Laurier, talked about sunny ways. He knew that politics can be a positive force, and that is the message that Canadians sent today. Canadians have chosen change, real change.
Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways. This is what positive politics can do. This is what a positive, hopeful vision and a platform and a team together can make happen. Canadians from all across this great country sent a clear message tonight. It's time for a change in this country, my friends, a real change.
There are so many people to thank tonight, and I will be spending a lot of time thanking them over the coming days, but I want to start by my family. I would like to thank my family, Sophie, Xavier, Alagrace, and Ariel. Thank you for allowing me to serve. Thank you, Sophie, for your strength, for your compassion, for your nobility of spirit, and for your generosity. To Xavier, Alagrace, and Adrien, who are in bed now, but who will be with us tomorrow morning. My children, we're embarking together on a new adventure, and I can tell you now that there will be hard times for you, tough times as Prime Minister's kids, but Daddy will be there for you. I also want to thank the people who have been trusting me since 2008, the people of Papineau. Thank you once more for your support. Thank you for your trust. I will be first and foremost proud to represent you in the House of Commons. You, my dear fellow citizens of Papineau, you talked to me about the issues that are important to you. I heard you, and that helped me become a better member of Parliament, a better leader, and that will help me to become a better Prime Minister. Thank you.
I also want to specifically thank my good friends, Katie Telford and Gerald Butts. Katie and Jerry are two of the smartest, toughest, hardest working people you will find anywhere. They share with me the conviction that politics doesn't have to be negative and personal to be successful, that you can appeal to the better angels of our nature, and you can win while doing it. Tonight, my very good friends, we proved that. I hope it is an inspiration to like-minded people to step up and pitch in, to get involved in the public life of this country, and to know that a positive, optimistic, hopeful vision of public life isn't a naive dream. It can be a powerful force for change. And I also want to thank the incredible volunteers that made tonight happen. Over 80,000 Canadians got involved in the core of this campaign. They knocked on their neighbors' doors. They made phone calls. They sent emails. Hundreds of thousands more supported us actively with their friends and online. They convinced their neighbors and their families. And all of these people had one thing in common. They care deeply about their families, their communities, and their country. They believe that better is possible and that active citizens can play a real part in making it happen. Now, this movement we've built was fueled by these amazing volunteers, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Now, I want to take a moment to speak about my colleagues across the aisle. Tonight, I received phone calls from all of them, including from Mr. Harper. Stephen Harper has served this country for a decade, and as with anyone who has devoted their life to this country, we thank him for his service. Now, over the course of this campaign, I had the opportunity to have a couple of brief personal conversations with him about our families. It reminded me of the extraordinary and unique sacrifices that are made by anybody who serves this country at the highest levels. And I want to remind everyone, as I've said many times over the course of this campaign, Conservatives are not our enemies, they're our neighbours. Leadership is about bringing people of all different perspectives together. I
also want to pay homage to Thomas Mulcair, who led a strong campain. He fought until the end, and to the supporters of his party, I understand your disappointment tonight. Our party has gone through difficult times not so long ago. So don't be discouraged. Our country needs citizens who are committed like you. Our country will be stronger for it. Thank you.
Now, you're all going to hear a lot tonight and tomorrow about me and about our campaign. Lots of people are going to have lots of opinions about why we were successful. Well, for 3 years, we had a very old-fashioned strategy. We met with and talked with as many Canadians as we could, and we listened. We won this election because we listened. We did the hard work of slogging it across the country. We met with hundreds of people in the dead of winter in the Arctic, and with thousands of people in Brampton in the middle of this campaign. You built this platform. You built this movement. You told us what you need to be successful. You told us what kind of government you want, and we built the plan to make it happen. In coffee shops and in town halls, in church basements and in gurdwaras, you gathered. You spent time together with us. And you told us about the kind of country you want to build and leave to your children. You
told us about your challenges in your daily lives. You told us that it was getting harder and harder to join both ends together and to pay the bills at the end of the month. You told us that you were worried about your retirement. You told us that your communities needed investment. You told us that good jobs were becoming scarcer. You told us all that. You are the inspiration for our program. You are the reason why we worked so hard to get where we are tonight. And you will always be at the heart of the government that we will form.
Over the past 3 years, you told us what you're going through. You told us that it's getting harder and harder to make ends meet, let alone to get ahead. You told us you're worried about whether you'll be able to afford a dignified retirement. You told us that your communities need investment. You told us you need a fair shot at better jobs. You are the inspiration for our efforts. You are the reason why we worked so hard to be here tonight, and you will be at the heart of this new government. So, my message to you tonight, my fellow citizens, is simple. Have faith in yourselves and in your country. Know that we can make anything happen if we set our minds to it and work hard. Ce n'est pas moi qui a fait l'histoire ce soir.
I haven't made history tonight. You did.
Ne laissez pas les gens vous dire
Don't let
le
anyone tell you
Je sais
otherwise.
que je suis ici
I
ce
know
soir
that I'm
pour
here
une seule
tonight for
raison,
one reason
parce que vous
and one reason
m'avez
only, because
choisi.
you chose
I
me.
didn't make history tonight. You did. And don't let anyone tell you any differently. I know that I am on stage tonight for one reason and one reason only, because you put me here. And you gave me clear marching orders. You want a government that works as hard as you do, one that is focused every minute of every day on growing the economy, creating jobs, and strengthening the middle class. One that is devoted to helping less fortunate Canadian families work their way into the middle class. You want a Prime Minister who knows Canada is a country strong, not in spite of our differences, but because of them. A PM who never seeks to divide Canadians, but takes every single opportunity to bring us together. You want a Prime Minister who knows that if Canadians are to trust their government needs to trust Canadians. A PM who understands that openness and transparency means better, smarter decisions. You want a Prime Minister that knows that a renewed nation-to-nation relationship with Indigenous peoples that respects rights and honors treaties must be the basis for how we work to close the gap and walk forward together. À mes compatriotes québécois,
To my
ce soir,
Quebec compatriots, tonight, together, we have chosen the way of commitment. We have chosen to rededicate ourselves to a more positive politics, a politics of bringing together. We have chosen to rededicate ourselves to the governance of a country that reflects our values and our ambitions. We have chosen to trust, to invest together in our future. Over the past 3 years, I've spent a lot of time meeting you and listening to you. You told me that you wanted a government that was open and transparent, a government that would trust its citizens, a government that would be at the service of all Canadians. Tonight, that is the commitment I make before you. I will be the Prime Minister of all Canadians. We will create a government of integrity that will respect institutions and that will make cooperation with the provinces the first principle of its actions. Dear Quebec friends, thank you. Tonight, Canada recovers a part of itself. Tonight, Quebec is truly returning to the government of Canada.
Canadians have spoken. You want a government with a vision and an agenda for this country that is positive and ambitious and hopeful. Well, my friends, I promise you tonight that I will lead that government. I will make that vision a reality. I will be that Prime Minister. In this election, 1,792 Canadians stepped up, put their names on ballots and on lawn signs, and ran for office. 338 of them were chosen by you to be their voices in Ottawa, and I pledge tonight that I will listen to all of them. There are 1,000 stories I could share with you about this remarkable campaign, but I want you to think about one in particular. Last week, I met a young mum in St. Catharines, Ontario. She practices the Muslim faith and was wearing a hijab. She made her way through the crowd and handed me her infant daughter. And as she leaned forward, she said something that I will never forget. She said she's voting for us because she wants to make sure that her little girl has the right to make her own choices in life and that her government will protect those rights. To her, I say this. You and your fellow citizens have chosen a new government, a government that believes deeply in the diversity of our country. We know in our bones that Canada was built by people from all corners of the world who worship every faith, who belong to every culture, who speak every language. We believe in our hearts that this country's unique diversity is a blessing bestowed upon us by previous generations of Canadians. Canadians who stared down prejudice and fought discrimination in all its forms. We know that our enviable, inclusive society didn't happen by accident and won't continue without effort. I have always known this. Canadians know it too. If not, I might have spoken earlier this evening and given a very different speech. Have faith in your fellow citizens, my friends. They are kind and generous. They are open-minded and optimistic. And they know in their heart of hearts that a Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian. Mes amis,
My friends, we have fought fear with hope. We fought cynicism with hard work. We fought negative politics with a vision that was positive and inclusive.
We beat fear with hope. We beat cynicism with hard work. We beat negative, divisive politics with a positive vision that brings Canadians together. Most of all, we defeated the idea that Canadians should be satisfied with less, that good enough is good enough, and that better just isn't possible. Well, my friends, this is Canada, and in Canada, better is always possible. Thank you. Thank you very much. Merci.